So now that we're beyond the first trimester, how would you describe the first trimester?
I guess in one or two words, nausea or morning sickness, as they like to say, although it can happen at any time of day, was the highlight, was the star of the first trimester.
Yeah.
It stole the show.
It stole the show. Sometimes still making a few appearances.
Yeah, I still, for whatever reason, I mean, you have a sense of your smell is heightened, I guess, when you're pregnant. So just Brian makes scrambled eggs, like, or whatever, your over easy eggs, like almost every morning. And I want to kill him because the smell of the eggs it just
Lingers.
First of all, it lingers in the apartment. Before it didn't bother me so much. Now that I'm pregnant, it bothers me a lot. Even outside the first trimester, I'm still like, you have to open up all the windows, put the air diffuser on, light a candle, or just don't make your damn eggs in the morning. But that doesn't quite work with you. You still make them.
Well, meanwhile, you make hard-boiled eggs and egg salad.
It has a different smell.
I don't know.
It has a different smell.
That smell bothers me. My smell is heightened as well.
Because yours is like the warmth of it making and it fills the air. Mine is, you crack it open. It smells a little bit, but
it's like a fart.
But you eat it. Don't say that.
Yes,
but then you eat it, and it's gone. It disappears. Yours linger for a very long time, as long as I wash all the dishes right after, which you're really bad at. You don't always do. So I'm left with an apartment smelling like eggs for the first half of the day.
I thought I'm sorry. I thought this was a podcast about you and your pregnancy and not all the things that I do wrong.
But I will tell you.
Oh, wait. Maybe that's a symptom of pregnancy.
Okay, next subject. But I will say a funny story with morning sickness. So, I'm getting ready. Liam sometimes comes into the bedroom when or towards the end of me getting ready. Mostly because Brian's looking to get on the Peloton, and so he's trying to rush me along. Like, how did you get in here? And so I just finished brushing my teeth, and I'm sure a lot of pregnant people, or maybe it's just me, actually, I just saw it on Instagram, that when you brush your teeth, your gag reflex and then morning sickness, it just doesn't mix. So I had just brushed my teeth when he came in, and I felt so sick, and I was like, oh my God, I have to go. So I go to the toilet and I'm starting to throw up or making the throw up sounds. And Brian walks in because he hears me, and Liam, he's standing there too. And he's just has this face as if he's gagging because the sound is making him gag. And Brian grabs him and come on, let's go. And I'm like, oh my God, I couldn't even fully take in what he was doing because I was feeling sick. And then afterwards I'm like, Brian, was he gagging before? He's like, yeah, I had to pull him out of the room because I was gagging, he was gagging. Anyways, and then fast forward to maybe a few weeks later, and he, I don't know, had some 24-hour stomach bug, and he was throwing up everywhere.
That was
and poor me, I think I was towards the end of feeling the sickness, but I cleaned up most of it.
Yeah. Well, I was cleaning off Liam because he woke up in a puddle of vomit.
I'm surprised because Brian is the absolute worst when he sees throw up. It's
I just think
everything stops.
About it right now.
Okay. Anyways, so that was pretty funny. He's just as dramatic. Or sorry, you're not dramatic. He's just as
animated
as you are. I'm sure a lot of people have this similar reaction of, okay, now I have to throw up seeing someone, just oh, someone's crying and then I have to cry. That's them. So I felt bad. I felt a little bit bad afterwards, but next time don't let him bust into the room and let me finish getting ready. You can wait to go on the Peloton.
Fine.
I'm Fatima.
And I'm Brian. You're listening to Millennial and Pregnant.
We're talking through another pregnancy, but this time we're doing it with our 3-year-old.
We think we know what to expect this time around, but somehow it still feels new.
Today, we're recapping my first trimester.
If you haven't heard about Anchor by Spotify, it's the easiest way to make a podcast with everything you need in one place. In fact, this season of Millennial and Pregnant was produced and hosted on Anchor. Here's what I love about it. Anchor has tools that allow you to record and edit your podcast right from your phone or computer. This made it easier for me to edit my episodes on the go. When hosting on Anchor, you can distribute your podcast on listening platforms like Spotify, Apple Podcasts, and more. It's everything you need to make a podcast in one place. And best of all, Anchor is totally free. Download the Anchor app or go to anchor.fm to get started. Oh, don't fall asleep on me because, that's a symptom. Sorry. You're over there snoring.
I was just joking. But...
Yeah, I'm sure. So we're talking your first trimester. That's behind us. How does this first trimester relate or compare to Liam's first trimester?
Now, my memory, I feel like that's something that just went after the first pregnancy, but
to be fair, you probably didn't have memory of your first trimester because you were sleeping all the time.
No, it was a totally different. You exaggerate like way too much. First of all, I was working, traveling, commuting. If anyone can remember that, pre-2020, commuting back and forth to work. Mm-hmm. Luckily, around the time that I was in my first trimester, I didn't have my busy season, so any of my public accountants out there. So it was pretty slow, or, you're ramping up doing your planning and stuff like that, but nothing crazy like your January through March time. But still, working an 8-hour day, commuting on that damn 6 train that would always somehow have delays. Then by the time I got home, like, just even think about it, like currently where we're at, like getting up in the morning, got dressed, commuted, got to work, meetings all day, running around.
You didn't have breakfast,
all, eat, all that stuff. And then coming home after all that, I think I still was making dinner. So I would have enough energy to muster up making dinner.
Mm-hmm. When I wasn't making dinner.
When you were making dinner, because we do share those duties.
Don't make it sound like.
There's certain things that he's not allowed to make. But anyways, so I would do that by the time, 8 o'clock. Like, what was it? Oh my goodness, pre-children. Like we would be.
I don't think we'd get home until like 7:30.
Yeah, like what time? We were eating dinner late, but like whatever. Let's say 9:30. We're sitting on the couch about to like watch one of our shows, and
what time did Scandal come on?
Yeah,
that's what time we were eating.
And I would, we would eat dinner at the same time as watching our show, and I would, once I was done eating, I would just pass out. A lot of the time, I had to catch up on my shows again in the morning or the weekend. Mm-hmm. I would have to rewatch them because I'm like, I don't remember what happened. And then some of them I forget the shows that we might have abandoned because I was like, it's just too much. Like, I can't go back and watch all of them all over again. I don't have the time to do that. So, yeah, I did sleep a lot. This time around, I'm not able to do it with having a toddler. I snuck in my naps during his nap time
But if you wanted to nap... Is that what you want to do? Nap more?
No, because I'm the worst napper. Like when I get up, I'm so cranky and groggy. It's like, why did you even go to sleep? I rather go to sleep, and I think might have done it a few times where I went to sleep at like 8:30 or 9, just to like kind of catch up because I'm the worst napper. If I do nap, that I'm really, really tired and I can't make it through. But my mom will always tell me, even with like the process of childbirth, she's like, she's like, you won't remember. She's just like, you kind of just forget it. It's like, no, I'll forget it. And for a while, for the first year or so, I, remembered every symptom and the entire process of giving birth. And, it was like, it was yesterday. And then something did like switch, and I was like, ooh, it's a little hazy. I kind of don't remember everything. Yeah. That's what I was saying. I did go back to the podcast that we first initially had, because I said, wait, what happened? Just to kind of see, you know, if it jogged my memory, and it did some, and I was so glad I was able to have that as a record to go back to. So yeah, I would say I slept more, but I think I'm just as tired, if not more tired. But I'm also getting used to being in like a constant state of tiredness. So I'm like, maybe this is my baseline. Maybe I'm not tired. Maybe this is me rested. I don't know. I'm trying to convince myself that this is somewhat normal.
And that's only made possible because our son hasn't slept through the night until very recently this year.
Well, that's true. But not to be mistaken that we would be up in the middle of the night at like random times.
Oh, right.
We would just have to go into his room and bring him into our bed, and he would fall asleep. Yeah. There was a few nights that he decided, kicking in the face, or decided he wanted to have a conversation.
He was in Cirque du Soleil.
Or laugh, because, kids are just processing everything.
Those laughs are so creepy.
What? Yeah, I know. Just processing every little thing that's happened in their entire day and lifespan at night, specifically our son. And so I think that makes it very difficult for him to go. Like, we would find him in his bedroom reciting books that we read him. I'm like, this is before he was even 2. So it's insane. So yeah, so
constant state of sleepy.
Yes, but more naps or earlier bedtimes before we had no kids. I would say is a big one. Appetite. I feel like in the first trimester, because I was so sick all the time, like I was really hungry. In this current one, I was hungry, but just like everything and anything just didn't sit well with me. So what did I have? I had a ton of apples. Just anything that was fresh is what like stayed down. Whereas I felt like in my first trimester with our son, I was able to eat anything. Like there was not anything that made me nauseous. I had to give up coffee that made me nauseous, and cauliflower I was not a fan of.
That's right. And Brussels sprouts.
And Brussels sprouts, which I really, really love Brussels sprouts. But I think, once again, cauliflower and the Brussels sprouts, like family, it just has a scent.
Yeah, it has a smell.
Yeah.
And it was tough because it was the fall and we would make Brussels sprouts.
I know.
A lot.
The Brussels sprouts where we just pile on Parmesan cheese, and it's like, is this really classified as a vegetable still? Maybe. Yeah. It does. If we still show a little bit of the green, we're good.
Mostly dairy.
Yeah. So that was a little hard because when you're hungry but you're nauseous, it's the worst feeling. I'm really trying to think.
Stuff. You were just snacking a lot.
I bought when I had the watermelon. I was eating a lot of that. And yeah, I just had to like nibble and snack more than like sit down for a big meal because it just wasn't settling. So once we got over that hump,
and that was not even morning sickness. That was just sickness. I mean, mostly in the morning, but even at night sometimes.
Yeah.
Depending on what dinner we were cooking and what smells came about from that.
Yep. But the good thing was, and why I say like I should probably even say morning sickness. I really should say nausea, is that I didn't really throw up that much. I did throw up a handful of times, way more than I did with our son, my first pregnancy. I can count on. I think I only threw up maybe twice. The first time I was pregnant.
I don't remember you getting sick.
Yeah, like it was amazing. I was like, "What? Morning sickness? Never heard of it." Here, probably a little over a handful of times, which still is not bad when you're talking about the first 13 weeks of your pregnancy. Like, was not a lot. It was just that constant state of nausea that was the annoying part. It's like, oh my God, like I want to, but I can't, or I don't really need to. So maybe it was just more of my heightened sense of smell was just like, it was crazy. And I even was saying, moved into our new apartment, and the new apartment smell, I was like, this is not our scent. And it was just killing me. I was like, it smells like something. I think it was, to
be fair, the bottom cabinet, I think, housed dog food.
Yes, I think there was a dog that lived here.
Yeah, because I just remember we had our first dog, we had dry. No, just kidding. We had canned. Our second dog, we had dry food, and that smell brought me back to owning a dog.
There was that, and then I don't know. It smelled like dorm room or something. Like
it was stale because the windows hadn't really been.
Yeah,
open
the windows hadn't been open. I think the apartment was vacant for some time, but maybe I've gotten used to the smell, but or maybe finally, it just takes a while for the apartment to get your smell. But that even bothered me. Like I bought those little things that you stick in the closet.
Oh, don't we have one in here?
We do have one in there, and I think it's been the 6 weeks. It's been over the 6 weeks, so it doesn't smell anymore. I mean, it was like lavender.
It is much better. Like it used to have this stale air because I don't think there's
no vent in this closet.
This
so
master closet has a vent.
I got that. I got air fresheners. We burn candles all the time. My diffuser, like everything and anything. And when those things went away, I was like, it still smells the same way it did when we moved in here. But that I would say was just so increased during this pregnancy. It's just, I feel like everything's just a little bit more intense. Like I might have had the symptom and it's like, it's like, ooh, little poke. Okay, yeah. And then this one was like shaking you and being and like, okay, you're here, you're pregnant. Yay. And then another thing was just like, obviously you don't want to tell anyone during your first trimester that you're pregnant, or you want to tell very few people. It made it very easy working from home. So very easy to hide in that sense, but still to have some people come over. We'd have some function to go to. And I was showing like a lot sooner than I had before. And, they say after stuff has been stressed out, but then there's also the added in your first trimester, a lot of bloating. And I felt like I was bloating like crazy because towards the end of the day, I'm sure it's stuff that you're eating, right? That plays a factor. And everyone, they eat and then you're like, oh, I look a little pregnant at the end of the day. And like I looked so much more pregnant by the end of the day. I'm like, what is going on right now? So there was not really many things that I could wear. And I was rotating the same type of things in case we went around some function. Like I think we went up to your parents' house. I went to go see my mom. My mom had came over. I think my sister might have visited, or we visited her.
Our nephew's birthday.
Yeah.
Party.
So I was like, okay, I can. Since we put the clothes in this closet, nothing has really been touched. I have maybe like 4 hangers that have been touched because it has like my flowy yellow shirt and this button-down shirt that I was rotating a lot.
Well, everything behind me looks like it's for the winter time.
It has not been touched. And so it's so sad. You're like, oh, I want to wear my clothes. And then I bought some really cute Zara shorts that I was really excited about. It was like the mom cut. And I was like, I'm all about this because all my other shorts are like poom poom shorts. And my sister's poom poom shorts. I don't know. It's like a thing.
Okay.
Okay. This is a cultural like thing. Yeah, he's not gonna know what I'm talking about. Really short shorts. Poom poom shorts. Tell me it's a thing. Am I saying it right? I think you don't know it because
I think it's the name of a song.
No.
Yeah.
He's looking it up now. Anyways, my shorts are really short, so my sisters always make fun of me and saying that they're super short. But I'm like, my legs are so long. So I was really excited to get these mom shorts because I felt like it was. See, it's a thing. You're just white.
Pum pum.
Pum.
But is it called poom poom?
I think you say poom poom.
P-U-M. P-U-M.
Yeah.
Okay. It's on Hello Beautiful, so I feel like that's...
Anyway, I'm pretty sure that's what we would say if you had really, really short shorts, especially when we were younger.
Yeah.
Anywho's, I got these really cute shorts, but of course everything, and I tend to gravitate even before I had our first kid, but it especially is great on the postpartum bodies, at least I think, is a high-waisted stuff. And so this one was high-waisted mom shorts. I was like really excited. Beginning of the summer, finally found the shorts that I wanted. Went to go try it on. I think it was only like 8 or 9 weeks. And it was like, nope, like these are I tried to button it up, like it went over everything, and it was like, no, like you're pregnant. Stop trying to put these high-waisted pants on. So like 99% of my pants and jeans and shorts are all high-waisted. So you could just imagine I was screwed. So Brian was like, oh, just keep them for after, the pregnancy. I was like, who knows if I'm going to fit back get to that. And it's just going to be depressing. So I was like, I just returned them. But that was really sad because like although I have saved a lot of money because I really haven't been shopping, but there's been really cute stuff that I've been wanting to buy. But the bloating and showing a lot sooner has made it very, very difficult because you're not big enough to fit into the maternity clothes, but you're definitely not small enough to be fitting into your high-waisted stuff. So that was a struggle and a little sad, but I guess that's the glory of growing a child inside you. But you do show a lot sooner than you want to.
Yeah, I remember. Is that when we went up to my parents? Or maybe it was shortly after that. I'm like, whoa, you look.
I think it was shortly
so
after because I was able to wear like one of my high-waisted pants and like my regular like tighter fitting like bodysuit shirts that I had. I probably
maybe
just
it was when we went to go see your sister.
Yeah, it was kind of hard.
Ooh.
I had to and she was so funny because I would FaceTime my sister and she just would like randomly ask like I think I was just kept saying I was so tired. And maybe she just noticed the change more, because she's not sitting in front of me every day.
Well, you're also glowing. You are.
I'm like, people say you're glowing. I don't see it. I'm like, I look tired.
I'm wearing my sunglasses right now.
Okay. All right. Now we're being a bit much. But she would say it. She's like, she even said, she's like, your skin's glowing. She's like, and your teeth look whiter, though I don't think it's a thing.
Look whiter.
I was like, that's not a thing, Mama. I'm like, if anything, you actually have.
Is that how I whiten my teeth for free?
No,
Can I get pregnant?
your gums are extra sensitive and they bleed more. That's common. And there are some people who like their teeth rot during pregnancy. I don't know what it is about that, but yeah, like it actually pregnancy can do a job on your teeth. And especially maybe if you don't even go into the pregnancy having healthy gums and teeth, it can be really rough on your teeth. So, but she would make a comment. She made another comment because I didn't accept wine when I was at the house. And I just felt like people, or at least I noticed it more, like I think your dad offered me, or your mom offered me wine when we were in New Hampshire. Then your dad offered to get me a drink when we were at
my dad always offers good drinks.
I know.
I'm like, Dad,
but
I'm
like,
holding a water.
I feel like, no, he asked me specifically, oh, do you want some wine? And I said no.
Well, let's think about people who come to visit my parents and the people who are drinking wine. All of my mom's sisters. So anytime a woman enters that house, he's like,
he wants some wine.
Let's talk about.
No offense, I'm sure a lot of people do that.
Let's talk about the habit
that's
that
like
is ingrained in his.
True. But like, I guess I noticed it more as I was like declining drinks. So I was like, I hope they're not suspicious. But like she had said, she's like, are you pregnant?
Yeah.
Are you pregnant? Which no one really should ask you if you're pregnant. I guess a little different when it's your sister because she also was saying it in a joking manner.
I turned so quickly. I was like, Liam, come here.
Yeah. I tried to like not make eye contact with her. But anyways, obviously the cat's out of the bag now.
Yeah.
So.
Almost.
But it was very difficult. So I packed, button down, flowy shirts in like dark colors. I wasn't even when I tried to put the gray or the white t-shirts, I still feel like I poke out a little bit. My belly button, just like
it's like a button. It's a legit
like
button.
Popped right out of the socket,
and that happened.
It's like a little button.
But I feel like your belly button popped out not this soon, but it was like I feel like towards the end. It's when it turned into a button.
No, yeah. And like this time it wasn't like a belly. Like I would not even be bloating and it just be like, hey belly button. Hey.
It's like it didn't fully go back in after
Liam.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's like It changed. Your belly button changes. I'm gonna tell you that right now. Like that's something that you can't get around.
But it's so funny because you're still so small, but you still have a baby. Now you have like a bump.
Yeah.
That's you like. You're not as far along as what you look like.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
Because now you have this little, and then you have that belly button. That's poop.
So it was just very difficult. So I was like, okay, I'm gonna wear these high-waisted underwear to like cover so it covers up the belly button to flatten it down a little bit.
Yeah.
It was rough. It was real rough. Because I really just had nothing to wear.
Do you still have maternity clothes that you will use?
So when I started to show, it was wintertime.
Yeah.
So
right.
Really, all of my things, I have some dresses and stuff that I had, but I couldn't really take them out because they were longer and I worked a lot.
Yeah.
So I didn't really do the whole maternity clothes things. Also, I think
chunky sweaters.
My belly didn't get that big. So some of the stuff, I remember I ordered some stuff and it still had so much more fabric there and room for you to grow, but I never got to that point.
Yeah.
So most of my maternity, quote unquote maternity stuff is just stretchy clothes. I brought one pair of maternity leggings and just like stretchy dresses.
I remember the leggings.
And then and I bought yep, that's what I wore all the time. And then when my feet got really swollen, I had to slip on sneakers and compression socks. Like that was my uniform in the weekend was leggings, compression socks, slip on shoes. It was like 10 degrees outside, but I couldn't fit my feet in any other shoes. So that's what I did. And a t-shirt and a sweater over and I was good. And then my mom got me a bigger winter jacket because my other coats, I was going to work most of the time. Like that's what I did even on the weekend. So I had the cute little pea coats and stuff and I wasn't closing towards the end. So my mom got me this winter jacket.
Oh, the big parka. It's cozy.
Through the winter. So that was like super helpful. But that was my uniform really through the entire. I didn't really get to do the whole, here's my cute little sundress and my bump. Like I wasn't able to do that. And like this time around I am able to do it. And also while your bump is just a little bit small, so you just have this little cute little thing that just like pop. And so I
get to show it off to everyone. Yeah. All of your coworkers on your commute.
Not really. No. Yeah. I get to show it to the people at the park when I go to the park, and I get all dressed up just to go to my doctor's appointments because I'm like, this is mama's out. She's like hair flipped, like she about to do something. Yeah. So I put a full face of makeup on. I put a dress on. They probably think, wow, like she has it together. Meanwhile, 99% of the time, I'm wearing like sweats.
You still look beautiful though.
Oh, and so sweet.
So do you think, with Liam's pregnancy, did you feel more prepared this time around, or did those different symptoms throw you off? They kind of like nausea, boo.
I don't even know how can you really prepare for pregnancy. I'm really trying to think.
Well, I feel like we did go snack shopping more efficiently. You knew what you wanted.
Yeah. I was like, these are good things. But I felt like in the first one, I was probably a little bit crazier in trying to really make sure the consumption of food that I was having was the right consumption. Like, I was like, I need to pack on even more than what they say, and we're worried about that. And my doctor's constantly saying, you're fine. He's like, women sometimes lose a pound or two during the first trimester. I was like, what? He's like, yeah. And I had already gained, by my 10th week, I had already gained like 4 pounds from my normal weight. So he really, really wasn't worried. But then I went to another doctor's appointment and I had went down a pound. So I was like, what? He's like, it's okay. He's like, that happens. You're still above what you started off before, and I'm not expecting you to pack on the pounds right now. So I felt like the first time around, I was in thought and me thinking that I was more prepared. I was doing more research about different things. I was reading my book, so I was really on top of everything that was supposed to happen and like checking the little boxes. I was really, really good, which I need to get better at, now going into my second trimester and just getting sooner and sooner, doing my stretches every night, every morning, doing my lunges, walking a lot more, just like being more physical. That's just because that was before pre-pandemic and staying and working from home. So I was moving my body a lot more, being more cognizant of, doing all those little mini exercises to make yourself prepared for childbirth, getting your hips and stuff stretched out and just being strong and stuff like that. And I was also I think I consumed maybe 2 times or 3 times the amount of water that you need to drink. Like I was constantly drinking, like every second I was drinking water, and I also every second I was in the bathroom.
That's true.
And then I was like, okay, girl, you need to like chill. So I got the giant this time around
TikTok gym water bottle.
Yeah, that is like the most broiest like little quotes of like, you get that this is awesome and you go guy, good morning.
Is it you go guy or what's like, is it bro or something?
I don't even know, but it's
maybe it is you go guy. It's very weird.
Clearly I do not read before I purchase things.
And then it says 9 a.m. at the end of the day.
That bothers me too. But I'm like, just because of the environment, I didn't reorder a different one, so I just kept it. But it's a gallon size jug, and I'm like, fill that up, drink most of the time I drink like 75% of it, 80%. I don't think I've ever drank the whole full gallon just because it's a lot.
Really far. It's a lot.
It's a lot. Person. And they, it's pretty much you're supposed to have what, 8 ounces.
8 ounces.
8 glasses.
Times
give or take.
How much you weigh? Like 100 ounces.
So I get close to it. I don't know.
I have no idea.
100 ounces?
Is it 8 ounces for every foot you're tall?
I don't know. Because it's like everything is different. Because the food that you eat has water. If you're drinking tea, if you're drinking smoothies, like you get water from other places. So they say you don't have to necessarily drink as much as that. I'm obviously paying attention to make sure signs when I go to the bathroom if I feel like I'm staying hydrated. But I think the first time around I was just crazier and feeling like I needed to get prepared for giving birth, for just being pregnant for the next week to come. And I was just more crazy and on top of it. And then I'm like, I don't feel the need to do that. I was like, yeah, this seems about right. Like this is supposed to happen. I'll check the weekly things online to see like, what should you expect or what size is your baby now? Like I'll do that, but I had no desire to really like information overload this time around. So maybe I'm just more relaxed in that matter. So
that's great.
Which is like something that doesn't really happen, me relaxing, but I'm just more of like, okay, like I'm not going to be able, listen to the doctor, say my concerns when I'm there, and then let him answer my questions instead of being like, okay, he'll answer my questions and then let me go back and do like 10 hours of research. Like I don't feel like I need to do that anymore, at least.
That's good.
That's all for this episode, but make sure you're following the show so you know when the next episode is out.
Check out our website, liliesandloafers.com, for cooking and DIY inspiration and more updates from our growing family.
Millennial and Pregnant is a Lilies and Loafers original podcast. It's hosted by me, Fatima.
And me, Brian. Original music by Purple Planet. Thanks for listening. We'll see you soon.